presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southeast.
We welcome you to the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, where things have gone very rocky indeed for Walt Weiss's club. They just dropped 2 out of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays, and now the Braves come to town riding some red-hot pitching. It's game 1 of 4 here in Denver, Colorado. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, welcome to the ballpark, where the Braves continue this 3-city road trip with our visit to Denver, a place that was very unkind to Atlanta last year. The Braves were swept in 4 games here, but they're riding some red-hot pitching, and they'll need it in this hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yeah, the last 2 days, the Tampa Bay Rays have done some really good pitching. Struck out 27 Rockies in 2 days. Well, the Braves are lined up to do the same thing. They've got 4 of their young guns going tonight, starting with Mike Foltynewicz, whose last couple of starts have been outstanding. Julio Teheran has pitched wonderfully against the Rockies in his career. Whistler's only outing here was a good one, and we've loved what we've seen of Terrell Jenkins.
It's said the toughest thing for a young pitcher to do is to face the same opponent in back-to-back starts. That's the challenge for Mike Foltynewicz. But boy, Joe, he got rave reviews from the Rockies, didn't he?
He certainly did. You're seeing some action from one of those last 2 starts in Chicago, and then he followed it up with a great outing against the Rockies. He went 6 shutout innings before finally giving up some runs in the 7th. And of those 6 innings, 5 were 3 up and 3 down innings. He's getting it. He's not walking a lot of guys. He's striking out a ton of guys. There's the line from that start at Turner Field.
And he'll be facing a Rockies club that won't have Nolan Arenado in the lineup. He's getting a mental break tonight, and frankly, their whole club could use that. This is a very important time for the Rockies, Joe. They may have to break up their team if they don't pick things up here at home.
Yeah, they're only 13 and a half out. I say only. That's not a whole lot with a whole second half to go, and they've got a lineup that could do some damage.
Hopefully no damage tonight. Mike Foltynewicz and Chad Bettis hook up in game 1. When we come back, Kelsey Winger will talk to the Braves hitters about what fun they hope to have here in a 4-game set in Denver, Colorado.
Baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back to the Mile High City for Game 1 of the Braves versus the Rockies here at Coors Field. And Coors Field is a very cool place to play, especially for hitters, not necessarily pitchers, because this ballpark is notoriously a hitter's park. The ball just, there's Ian Kroll. The ball just flies out of here, and I was curious, so I went into the clubhouse and asked the guys, does your mindset or approach change whenever you know you're hitting in a park like this? And here's what they said.
Here's the type of park that you get a ball in the air, it's liable to go. So, you know, I think that for me, I'm just going to kind of keep my same approach, and if I get one, I get one, but I'm just looking to get on base.
You know, I just try to stay with my approach, no matter what ballpark I'm hitting in, and you know, those are the type of things you can't really let mentally. You really can't let it get to yourself, because you know, you start messing with the mental aspect of it. It makes it a lot harder.
And Nick Markakis is really a guy who can spark some offense, and he is the subject of our Synovus Greatness Made Here. Looking at the last 27 games, he's hitting .308 with 4 home runs and 10 RBI. But the most impressive thing of that might be that he has not swung and missed at a pitch in his last 29 plate appearances, and hopefully he can get some offense going here today. We have Game 1 of the Braves versus the Rockies here in Denver, Colorado, with Mike Fultonevich on the mound for your Atlanta Braves. Chip and Joe take it back with first pitch and starting lineups next.
Colorado as the Rockies take the field to get this 4-game series started. Chad Bettis is the man on the mound for Colorado, and he pitched rather impressively against the Braves back at Turner Field.
Yeah, he had a really good game himself. He pitched into the 7th inning, only gave up 3 runs. Another quality start for Bettis and the Rockies, and he struck out 7 guys, many of whom you were seeing right here. He gave up a home run, though, to A.J. Pierzynski. We'll see if A.J. can capitalize on that again tonight on that slider that was right in his wheelhouse. Last 7 starts. These are unbelievable numbers. He's 3-1 with a 5.5 ERA and a .321 batting average against him, and he's getting 7 runs of support. Now, despite a 5.5 ERA and that huge batting average, the team is 6-1. They're scoring a ton of runs for him, and he's been very fortunate, let's say, to be 3-1 over that stretch.
To put that in perspective, Julio Teheran, Matt Whistler, and Mike Fultonevich combined to get 6.1 runs of support as the Rockies go to work tonight. Here's their defense. Ryan Rayburn hit a grand slam back in Atlanta. Carr goes in right. Charlie Blackmon's in center. No Nolan Arenado for Colorado. He gets a night off. Daniel Descalso is at first base. And the Braves batting order, a standard alignment for Brian Snitker tonight. We'll see how Jace Peterson handles left field. He has played the outfield before, but this, as Joe will tell you, is a challenge that's rather unique in the National League. So we'll see if he's up to the task. As Bettis is ready to go, and his first of the night is over the outside corner, a strike.
His fastball's in the low 90s. Slider, changeup, curve. Likes to use that slider to left-handed batters. It's more like a cutter, or at least it was in Atlanta.
That's hit to the left side. Story long run. Strong throw. Boy, he looked like Tulo when he let go of that baseball, didn't he? And Jace Peterson's retired. On a ground ball out. One away.
Braves only scored 6 runs in that 3-game series against the Rockies in Atlanta. Came away with a walk-off win in the last game of the series. And as you've said, Chip, only 11 runs here in 4 games last year.
That's the 5th lowest run total for a series in the history of this ballpark. And that was a costly series for the Braves, who also lost Jason Grilli, you'll recall, right before the All-Star break. So Gordon Beckham hits with the bases empty and 1 man out. 1 ball, 1 strike for Beckham, who's playing second base tonight.
Rockies are on a pretty good roll against the Braves in their head-to-head matchups, but especially here. They've won 6 straight against Atlanta here.
And Walt Weiss really needs that to continue for his ball club. The Rockies are unbelievably 21-24 at home.
He was not happy about those last 2 losses to Tampa Bay.
And a line drive to short. Story's got that. And that's the second out. And again, it goes without saying for Colorado, with the trade deadline coming up in about 9 days, it's make or break time for some of these Colorado players. Otherwise, they may have some very marketable players that may be playing someplace else come August 2nd. That is maybe the man at the top of the list, Carlos Gonzalez. And here's Freddie Freeman. Got to get Freddie going. Freddie has 1 hit in his last 22 at-bats and a ton of strikeouts. This one hit to Descalso at first. That hugged the line, and that will retire the side. 2 groundouts and a line out. Mike Foltynewicz loading up with a bubble gum. He'll go to work in the bottom of a scoreless first. Always and continues to be a great place for Braves fans to watch the Atlanta club, and they'll be treated to another start from Mike Foltynewicz, who's on a terrific roll.
Yeah, we were bragging on his last 2 starts. Here are the hardcore numbers: a 1.93 ERA over his 14 innings, and you can see there only 2 walks. You go to the Ford Keys to pitching success tonight, free passes. Try to limit the free passes to these guys because of the long ball ability, and his slider is going to be very important. I'll explain after we get underway here.
Charlie Blackmon swings at the first pitch and hits a 1-hopper to second. And Mike will take plenty of 1-pitch, 1-outs, won't he?
Absolutely he will. And that's a guy who doesn't swing at many first pitches. But yesterday, Chris Archer of the Rays went 6 innings and struck out 11 guys, and he did it primarily with sliders. He threw more sliders for strikes than he did fastballs. It was very effective against this Rockies lineup.
So Blackmon, who, as you said, swings at only 7% of first pitches offered him, rounds out to second, and here's DJ LeMahieu, the 3rd leading hitter in the league. And Mike pops the glove at 97 and evens the count. You talk all the time about how this is a game of adjustments. I wonder about the cat and mouse game between Foltynewicz and the Rockies. I would assume that as good as Mike was last time out, he doesn't change anything. Question is, what do the Rockies change to try to have more early inning success?
Well, this is one guy, LeMahieu, who doesn't have to change much either. He's 5 for 7 in his career against Foltynewicz, and at one point was 5 for 5. But you're right. If I'm Mike, I don't do anything different. There might have been an at-bat or 2 that he wanted to go back and look at and see how he might have done something a little better. But otherwise, he was so good.
Fly ball foul into the upper deck off to our right. And there are the numbers Joe was talking about. The Colorado second baseman, an all-star a year ago.
Boy, was his manager bragging on him tonight. Walt Weiss was talking about how hard LeMahieu works. And he said, you know, his swing, he said, I'll compare it to Derek Jeter's, you know, inside out. And he serves the ball to right field, can hit the ball deep. He said, well, once in a while, he gets the barrel out there ahead of it. And he said he's got upper deck type power when he gets it out front.
AJ tried to frame it, but it just missed. And Foltynewicz issues a 1st inning walk, and that will bring up Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez hitting .317, 19 homers and 56 runs batted in. He's 3rd in the National League in hits, behind Daniel Murphy of the Nationals. Ripped foul.
If you're a team looking for some offensive help, no wonder people talk about Carlos Gonzalez in the National League. 4th, tied for 5th, 3rd, and 2nd in those key categories. And a good right fielder who can play center if you need him to. He can play any of the 3 outfield spots.
But the question is, if you're a buyer, what exactly are you getting? With all due respect to Carlos Gonzalez, he's hitting .360 at home with 14 homers. On the road, .277 with 5 home runs. So there's definitely a Coors Field effect for Cargo, but that doesn't diminish the fact that he's a great hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If you remember, in Atlanta, the Braves were shifting on him, and he took advantage of it and hit the ball to the left side. And we talked about how he stands off the plate and invites you to pitch him away. Well, tonight, with a double play in order here, they're not shifting on him. We'll see if they do later in the game.
2 balls, 1 strike. And that was foul between AJ's legs. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mayhew has stolen 7 bases. He's the runner at first. Blackman grounded out on the first pitch of the game. Will be Colorado offense. Now Mike has Cargo in a 2-2. Out again. Saw on Fox Tracks, Joe, some of those pitches are in the danger zone for Cargo.
You throw 97, sometimes you can get away with it, though. Now, there's a lot of dots in the middle, aren't there? Uh-oh. Get that out of there.
Swing and a miss. What an off-speed pitch. From 97 to 80 miles an hour, and Cargo was fooled badly. First strikeout of the night for Fulte.
That was a beauty. Good spot. Made him reach. Nice job to put him away.
Trevor Story starting to heat up. He's hit a couple of home runs in his last 3 games. He had but 7 at bats against the Braves in Atlanta, went 2 for 7 but scored 3 runs. 23 homers. But he's a guy you can go to if you need a strikeout. Story's punched out 120 times this year. Not this time, as he flies one into right center field. Plenty of room for Ender Inciarte, and Mike Foltynewicz survives a 1-out walk. We head to the second. No score in Denver. Weekend is coming up July 29th through the 31st with the Phillies in town. There'll be several great opportunities for you to meet and greet your favorite Braves. Go to braves.com/alumni weekend for a full schedule of the weekend's events.
Saw Vinny Castilla before the game. Always great to see him. He's in great shape. I asked him if he was playing third tonight. He said, no, not tonight. And I told him about the alumni weekend. And he said, yes, I get the emails from Greg McMichael, and they're always appreciated. I'm just not able to make it this year.
Nick Markakis has an amazing streak working. And a line drive into center field, a base hit. Nick has not swung and missed at a pitch now in 30 consecutive plate appearances. And with that hit, now has 7 hits in his last 4 games.
I've never heard of that. And I would love to know about some other guys that I played with, how many streaks like that George Brett may have put together.
Or Tony Gwynn.
Oh, my goodness. Rod Carew. Ooh.
So Nick's night is off to a good start. Here's Adonis Garcia. Adonis is swinging a hot bat. He has 18 hits in his last 12 games.
That's hot. With some power. Now the home runs he hit in Cincinnati might not get out of here because of that new high wall out in right center that runs across in front of the bullpens. That's all new this year. It makes it a little tougher to hit a ball out that way. Now I'm told that so far there have been 12 balls that have hit that plexiglass to take home runs away from hitters, and of those 12, 5 belong to Trevor Story.
Huh.
And 3 of those were in the first week.
Well, don't feel sorry for him. He's got 23 already. As that's off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, that is the constant question about Coors Field. How do you make this a fair ballpark for your pitching staff? And balls ricocheting off that wall instead of going out. Make it a doubles and triples park. As this one's popped toward right. Cargo drifting back onto the warning track. And now a step back on the grass makes the play for the first out.
Vinny Castilla told me, though, that one thing it has created are a few more triples out there because there's no set way that the ball's going to come off that plexiglass. It's tough to play it.
So you might see some odd bounces off the wall. Let's see if Ender Inciarte can do that right here. He's got a hit in 8 of his last 9 games. And Ender, of course, a former Arizona Diamondback, has a lot of experience playing in this park. And Bettis missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Bettis tried that backdoor breaking ball, something he used a lot in Atlanta. His last 23 games against the Rockies, a nifty .330 average, and went 5 for 10 against Colorado and Atlanta.
He made Bettis throw a strike, and he did. 2-1 the count now. What wind there is blowing from left to right with a big scoreboard. Those are the flags high atop the area they call the rock pile, the center field bleachers. AJ Pierzynski is next. No score. We're in the 2nd inning on a beautiful night. And Inciarte walks. So the Braves have something cooking in the 2nd. 2 on with 1 out.
Boy, Bettis wanted that. He froze waiting for the call from Mike Winters and didn't get it. See if this was a break for Ender. At the plate. break for Inciarte.
And the Braves have the right man at the right time, as you see on the Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Again, hit his first home run of the year when he saw Bettis in Atlanta.
And that one too tight. 1 ball, no strikes. That, I would imagine, is the big challenge for the Rockies pitchers. Down in Atlanta, the heat, the humidity, you've got breaking stuff working. As that breaking ball got whacked into the seats. But here in Denver at altitude and with the thin air, there's not as much bite to the breaking ball.
You know, pitchers were always complaining of the balls being real slick too, until they started using that humidor. Try to keep the balls, I'll say, moist, or at least hydrated.
Ground ball towards second. There's 1. There's 2. And Bettis is out of the second inning. AJ hits into a 4-6-3 double play. We go to the home second. Of the second inning, Mike Fultonevich will face Descalso, Rayburn, and Hundley. And look at the velocity on the Academy Sports leaderboard.
That is very bazooka-like. 95.4 on average. Only Syndergaard and Carlos Martinez on an average basis throw harder. We'll see John Gray here tomorrow night. What a matchup that'll be with Tehran.
Should be a lot of fun. As Colorado's set to go with Daniel Descalso, their first baseman. Descalso started the season on the disabled list, recovering from a fractured hand. He's come back, though, and has hit .346 with a couple of homers and 19 knocked in. And a 95-mile-an-hour laser for a strike.
You get the feeling watching Mike in his last half dozen starts or so that he's really enjoying this. That he's gained some confidence in his stuff. He knows what he wants to do. I saw him today in the video room poring over some hitters. He prepares. And he's healthy.
Ground ball right back to the mound. Easy play. That takes care of Descalso. And there's the first out. Got to remember on plays like that in the early innings to take it easy on your first baseman. Freddie Freeman's in the bright sunshine. Fulte's in the shade, and he threw a changeup to first with Descalso running down the line.
Remember that inning against Colorado in Atlanta where he gave up 3 runs, got knocked out of the game? He got upset with a home plate umpire, and it was wearing on him visibly. And he's got to be able, if there's one area where he's going to have to keep working on it, it's that.
Yeah, it was a Mark Reynolds pitch that was called a ball that should have been strike 3 that we saw on Fox Tracks. Ended up walking, and that was one of the 3 runs that scored in that inning. And through 7, I mean, Mike was not unhittable, but he was about as close to unhittable as you could be.
Yeah, his first 7 innings, 5 1-2-3 innings.
And what I'm most excited about Foltynewicz, look, we all love seeing the big fastball, that he's not just throwing 97-mile-an-hour fastball 10 in a row. He's pitching, and he's making pitches. As this one's hit toward left, Jace Peterson with closing speed makes the play. His first chance out there in left field. Rayburn's retired, 2 outs.
Innings 1 and 2. Sometimes a little trouble getting his bearings. Great numbers otherwise.
Two up, 2 down for the catcher, Nick Hundley, batting .243 for the year. Hundley was 2 for 9 down in Atlanta. He's trying to slow the pace. Mike's in a nice rhythm right now. And he got the call, 1-2.
That locked him up. That locked Hundley up.
The count now full for the 7th place hitter on the Rockies lineup. Christian Adames is waiting next. Again, no Nolan Arenado tonight. Nothing wrong with him, but a mental break. Might be back in there tomorrow night. Here's the full count pitch.
Now, Walt Weiss described it as just an off day for Arenado to clear his head. He said he's so intense, and as we noticed in Atlanta, if he didn't get a hit every at bat, he was upset. And he said, I've called him in the office several times to try to calm the waters, but he is an intense competitor.
Up the middle, Ibar's got it. He'll throw on the run, and Foltynewicz with a salute to his shortstop. Another ground ball out, and he got the Rockies in order in a scoreless 2nd.
Raider coverage of baseball. Down in Gwinnett, Jose Ramirez. Last 20 appearances, yes, that is correct, an ERA under 1. And then Dustin Peterson, we've been saying this name all season, in Double-A. He's hitting .324 with 16 ribbies this month. And then in Carolina, Matt Withrow, 4-0 with a .323 ERA and 57 punch-outs in his last 10 starts. And Chip and Joe, Matt Withrow, 22 years old, drafted last season. That is Chris Withrow's little brother. So we got 2 Withrows in the Braves system over here.
Family affair. Love it. Good stuff on all those guys. And we've been tracking Dustin Peterson all summer. It's good to see him still playing well.
So we go to the third. Ibar, Fultonevich, and Jace Peterson are coming up against Bettis. Eric was in the throes of a 2-for-30 slump at the plate, but 3 hits in his last 2 games in Cincinnati has him going in the right direction as this one's bounced to first. That will be easy, and there's the first out of the inning. And here is Fultonevich, who helped himself in his last start against the Rockies with a run-scoring hit. Let's see what he can do with the bases empty here.
Last thing I said to Mike when I walked by him and he was watching that video is, swing hard in case you hit it. He goes, always.
Well, all help offensively is appreciated for the Braves in this ballpark. I mean, it's the strangest thing. Last 6 games in Denver, the Braves have scored 16 runs. How does that happen?
I don't know. That's not always been the case here. Braves are 52-43 in this ballpark, but not lately.
Little number back to the mound, and Bettis will take care of Fulte. 2 up, 2 down, and back to the top of the order.
Did you hear that? We're in Denver, but I think I could hear Bobby Cox from here saying easy.
That's exactly right. Peterson grounded out to short. Can't wait to get his impressions of what left field is like at Coors Field. Two balls, no strikes. Jace has hits in 24 of his 28 starts since coming back from the minor leagues.
Well, that's good.
And has been on base in 30 of 34 games. And I didn't realize this until I read it earlier today. He has the 16th best batting average in the National League in that stretch. It's pretty impressive. And it's fouled at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Handful of deep counts for Bettis in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, he's a little off his feed here tonight too.
Again to short. Story's got it. Gloves and guns to first in time, and Bettis works a perfect third. 8-9-1 coming up for Colorado. 0-0 so far.
and outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Joe and Chip with you in Denver, Colorado at Coors Field, where the home of the Rockies has been anything but a home field advantage for them. Rockies at 21-24 on their home turf. They'll have Adames, Bettis, and Blackman coming up. And Joe, if they want to make any kind of move at all, they've got to reestablish their home dominance.
No question about it. It starts with pitching. Got a great lineup, but they've got to get their pitching in line. They've got some good arms. They've got a kid, Estevez, in the bullpen, who's doing a good job for them now, closing out games.
Bouncing ball, that's a fair ball at first, and Fultonevich handles it the waistline. He takes care of the Rockies' third baseman, 1 out. Well, coming into this season, the Rockies were about 160 games over 500. They're about 400 games under 500 on the road. And to put that in perspective, for Colorado to get back to 500 away from home, they'd have to go 81-0 for 5 consecutive years just to get back to level water.
Yeah, that would take a while.
That would take a while. And so that's maybe the most disappointing thing for them, to be 3 under at this point in the season. And losing 2 out of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays, who had an 11-game road losing streak snapped here in the first game of their series. And a Tampa club that had lost 25 of 30 games was really a bitter pill for the Colorado to swallow, especially after they played so well against the Braves in Atlanta.
Right.
So again, maybe the Braves are getting him at the right time.
Well, it could be, and it's like I appreciated those comments that Kelsey rounded up today from some of the players about hitting in this ballpark, and does it affect you mentally trying to think about hitting the ball out of the park too much? And I liked what Nick Markakis said. He said, if you do that, boy, it will really foul up what you've already been working on. So I think at times other teams come in here.
Beckham at second handles a line drive, 2 out.
And just naturally think about trying to lift the ball and change their whole approach offensively, knowing they can hit a home run here, hit one in the air that's got a chance to go out. And that always played to the Rockies' favor. Even with pitching that was suspect, it played in their favor.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Charlie Blackmon right now. A very rare at bat to start the game. He swung at the first pitch.
See, that really shocked me. I had a recollection in Atlanta of him being very aggressive early in the count. Maybe it wasn't first pitches, but it seemed to me he was going after some early ones.
Well, whatever.
Nice streak working.
Say whatever he's doing, it's working well for him. As the count even, 1-1. His name's been mentioned a time or two on the trade rumor mill. One of the teams that some writers said had interest in Charlie Blackmon was the Washington Nationals.
Well, they have pitching.
Two balls and a strike. And that's way outside. It's 3-1. Washington lost today. The Dodgers beat them and Steven Strasburg, who fell for the first time. 6-3 was the final score in D.C. And that one's yanked foul past Eric Young, the Colorado first base coach. Full count. EY, one of the most popular Rockies ever, hit a home run in the first ever game played by the Rockies franchise off Kent Bottenfield. Fly ball. Right center. Markakis in the dappled sunshine drifts back, makes the play, and the park holds that. 8 up, 8 down for Mike Fultonevich. Middle of the order coming up for the Braves. No score after 3. Lots to do in the part of Denver called Lodo, lower downtown. This is the Ballpark Museum, recognized by Smithsonian Books as one of the top 21 finest private baseball collections in the world. All kinds of one-of-a-kind treasures, including the history of Colorado baseball, including the Denver Bears and Bears Stadium and the Rockies and Coors Field. And it was Greg Maddux who towed the rubber for the last time. 1994 at the old ballpark across the street. And a base hit by Gordon Beckham down the left field line. That'll be an extra base affair. He's on his way to second, and he will stop there. That is the second Atlanta hit. And a good start as Atlanta goes through the lineup a second time now.
Fastball that kind of tailed back to him. Gordon able to keep it fair. And I'm confident that Christian Adames at third base is a very fine fielder. But I'll bet Nolan Arenado is sitting over there in that Rockies dugout going, I'd have had that.
Freddie Freeman bats and didn't get it. Here's an area that is very, very surprising about Freddie Freeman's season. His numbers with runners in scoring position are shockingly low. In the early days of his career, he's been one of the best run producers in the National League. That has not been the case in 2016. This one's hooked into right, and Cargo's going to get there. Beckham's going to tag. Here comes the throw to third. It's high and it's late. So Freddie flies out, but it's a productive out. Beckham tagged, beat the throw, and the Braves have him in at third with one out.
You could hear the swell of the crowd as Cargo got ready to cut that loose because they know he's got a great arm, and he launched this thing on the fly. And if it was on the money, it would have been close.
He threw a runner out in Atlanta, you'll recall, that was clocked at 97 miles an hour from right field. That one might have been close in velocity.
That was a good out from Freddie, though.
And so the right guy at the right time. Nick Markakis singled his first time. 30 plate appearances without a swinging strike for the Braves right fielder. Good stop. Beckham led off with a double, took third on Freddie's fly out to right.
Pretty close. Didn't get the call. See if Nick gets a green light here. Would not be surprised the way he's swinging the bat.
Ball four. They're at the corners now with one out. And Adonis Garcia, the Braves' third baseman. Second walk for Bettis. And a chance for a big inning for the Braves now. Big cut, fouled back.
Been bragging on Adonis, and he's had better bat control. He has cut down on his swing when he gets behind in the count. It's really paid off for him.
Adonis with hits in 10 of his last 12 games, including 2 homers. Fly ball down the right field line. Cargo on the run, slowing and can't get there. It's 1-2. Line drive right field. Cargo's got it. Beckham late getting back to the bag. Couldn't tag up. So Garcia lines out. And now there are 2 outs with runners at the corners in the 4th.
That was a rookie mistake made by a veteran player at third base. Ball in the air, less than 2 outs. Your first move's got to be back to third. If it's a base hit, you'll still have a chance to score, but especially with a good arm in right field, there's no way you can be late going back to the bag and then tag and expect to score.
And he knew that. Well, let's see if Ender can pick him up. Cerrite walked in the 2nd inning. Braves stranded Nick Markakis at second in the 2nd. They've got 1st and 3rd with 2 outs here.
Another good hard hit ball to right field though by Adonis Garcia.
No swing.
There's a good breaking ball.
Bettis usually gets a ton of run support. Not tonight. Mike Fultonevich has held Colorado hitless through 3 innings. Braves though have a chance with 2 outs here in the 4th to break through. And now it's 2-2.
He's got a couple of choices here. He could go back to that breaking ball that he dropped in there for a strike on a 2-0 count. He could even bounce one up there.
Breaking ball cut on and missed, and Bettis is out of the mess. Gordon Beckham couldn't tag up. That cost the Braves a chance to score the 1st run of the game. We head to the home 4th.
is sponsored by Delta Airlines, your local Ford dealer, The Home Depot, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Hopefully that's an omen for the Atlanta offense here in Denver. And as we've said a couple of times, maybe the Braves are catching the Rockies at the right time in Denver in this series.
Lost 3 out of 4 games dating back to that last game in Atlanta, and a little trouble scoring runs all of a sudden. Tons of strikeouts.
Mike is pitching well tonight. 1 strikeout in the first 3 innings. He's mixed his pitch as well. He's had a good breaking ball for the most part. And Colorado's had just 1 base runner. And this is the man that reached. And he'll reach for the first hit. A leadoff single in the 4th. So LeMahieu hits now in 12 of 15 games.
And it was on a slider, but not a very good one. He's now 6 for 8 in his career against Foltynewicz. That one was just kind of a spinner.
One of Mike's best pitches of the night. Retired Carlos Gonzalez on a strikeout. That one all the way to the backstop. And this was something that plagued the Braves badly against the Rockies in Atlanta. They had, I believe, 9 wild pitches in that 3-game series, a franchise record. And no chance for AJ to snag that one. LeMahieu in scoring position now with nobody out.
Be interested to see where AJ was set up on this pitch. No chance. No chance at all. Set up away.
Carlos Gonzalez hits the ball hard. He hits the plate hard, getting ready to swing too. Let's see if he taps the plate with the bat. Three and 0. LeMahieu singled, took second on a wild pitch. He's there with nobody out. And Gonzalez walked. Foltynewicz didn't get the outside corner. And this is the point you were making earlier. Sometimes his frustration boils over when those pitches aren't called strikes.
That have started with the wild pitch. He may have gotten in his own head about being upset with that, and that was close. But he's got to regroup. First and second, nobody out. He's got to make pitches.
And he's got to make pitches to a terrific young hitter. Trevor Story, excuse me, with 23 homers. Troy Tulowitzki had 24 in his rookie year with the Rockies. He's going to fly right by that. Slider off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
Only 4 double plays grounded into. Also tops in all those categories. Made a bunch of errors at shortstop, but nobody notices.
Agnes Diaz of the Cardinals leads rookies in batting average. Corey Seager of the Dodgers is second. He'll get a lot of votes too for Los Angeles for the Rookie of the Year. Little chopper hit toward third. Garcia to second for one. Beckham with a quick turn, but not quick enough. Braves get the out at second. Runners are at the corners with one out. Mike got the ground ball, just wasn't hit hard enough for Adonis to start the double play.
Exactly right. A little slow developing, but the double play still in force here. And get another ground ball.
Descalso broke in with the Cardinals in 2010. The Rockies signed him as a free agent after the 2014 season. And he couldn't check his swing.
I like that. Start with something other than the fastball. Sitting on it, he was ready to jump on it. Highest average against right-handers in Major League Baseball. He's also hitting .381 here.
Line foul, 0-2. Well, he's a free agent. He keeps this up. They might try to bring him back.
He's played all over the ballpark.
Descalso has a championship ring with the Cardinals, one in 2011. And he's in a big hole. Key man in the inning. 0-2 pitch. And it stayed high. Runner at first goes. The pitch a ball. The throw to second is in time. I think Story overslid the bag, and Ibar kept the tag on as he sailed by. And he's out number 2. A big second out.
He looked like he slid to the side of the base too, Chip. Tagged right on the noggin too. Second base umpire Mark Wegner was trying to make the call and get out of the way. Rockies want to look at this. Foot to the bag, tag on the face.
But the question I'm sure Rockies manager Walt Weiss has was the tag applied when his foot was still touching the base?
Well, here we go, buddy, on that old. Is there enough evidence here to overturn it?
Right. Because tag and foot
simultaneous, and the call was out.
And then he slid past the bag and grabbed with a hand.
But without the tag being
Correct.
on him. But the original call is out. Is it conclusive that his foot got there first?
Catch.
Got rid of it quickly.
Tag. And in fairness to Wegner, he was shielded by Ibar, who spun right in front of him.
Well, and the other side of it too for Ibar, he can't chase him. He can't hold the tag on and keep chasing him past the bag because the runner at third may be breaking for home. He had to be aware of that.
So the question is, was the tag applied before the foot hit the bag? To put it simply. And the call was out at second. And they've had their fair share of reviews here in Colorado. I believe in the series against Tampa Bay, they had one review that took over 6 minutes. That's unacceptable.
No, it's not. You know, I've been telling you about Ender Inciarte's slides, and that he's a fast slider because he slides late. That was a case there where if Story slides later, he's probably safe. But he hit the ground early, and he was on the ground a long time before his foot ever got to the bag. And Mike Foltynewicz standing on the mound with his head cocked to the side like, let's go. And I agree with him. Make a call. Crying out loud. You gonna overturn it or not, boys?
We have clocks for pitching coach meetings. Shouldn't there be a clock on review? And the call is going to stand. Or it's confirmed, I guess. So, once again, not enough evidence, I'm sure, will be what we're told. That really was flip of the coin, and that's why the first call, the initial call, is so important. So the call stands, big second out, and that one took 3 minutes and 7 seconds. We'll see if there's any effect on Foltynewicz, who has a 2-2 count for Descalso now. And AJ smothered that.
He and Descalso played together a little bit in St. Louis, so AJ was having some fun with him.
Descalso played college ball at UC Davis. Was the highest UC Davis player ever taken in the draft when the Cardinals took him in the 3rd round. And he just earned a walk. That's the 2nd walk of the inning, 3rd walk of the game, and the pitch is piling up for Foltynewicz here in the 4th.
Well, that was one of the other keys. Free passes in this ballpark are oftentimes not a welcome sight because how quickly they can turn into runs.
This guy put up a bunch of runs with one swing back in Atlanta. Rayburn had a pinch hit grand slam at Turner Field. And he's hit 8 homers this year. He flied out to left in his first at bat.
Mike hasn't walked as many as 3 people in a start since way back on May 25th before he went on the disabled list. That was against Milwaukee when he walked 4.
Rayburn getting a chance to play because the Rockies are still waiting for Gerardo Parra to return from a high ankle sprain.
Remember that video we had of him working out in Atlanta?
Yes.
Apparently, while he was doing that, he had a little setback from those efforts. Yeah.
That's a shame. He's a good player. Good pitch. Good result. 2 balls and a strike.
He didn't try to overthrow that slider, and he got good results. And again, that was the pitch of choice for Chris Archer yesterday when he fanned 11 in 6 innings here.
Fly ball center, well hit. Inciarte flat out sprint. Still going. Got there a step shy of the wall. What a great catch by Ender Inciarte to rob Ryan Rayburn.
You know, we talk about how you got to run to the spot. He did. Great play.
Foltynewicz, but a great catch by Ender Inciarte keeps the game scoreless. As we move to the 5th inning tonight in Denver, A.J. Pierzynski, Eric Ibar, and Mike Foltynewicz are coming up. A.J. hit into a double play with runners at first and third back in the 2nd inning. As he's gotten more playing time, he's been more productive at the plate. A.J. has a hit in 8 of his last 9 games. And he's behind quickly 0-2 here in the 5th. Right back where it came from, but backing up his Story had him played perfectly, and Descalso with a stretch. There's the first out. Our Toyota key play, Joe, happened just a moment ago.
And it was a beauty. Ender got a great jump on this ball that was hit about 410 feet straightaway center. Turned his back on the infield, ran to a spot, had to make maybe one step of adjustment, and made the catch. Right there, a little bit of an adjustment to his left. That's as good as it gets on a ball over your head. Saved 2 runs.
And Mike's fired up, as you can tell. And he should be. As Ibar bats, he's 0 for 1. With all the newfangled graphics that baseball has and is putting together on StatCast, they have a term that they call route efficiency.
Oh, yeah?
I would love to know what the route efficiency was for Ender Inciarte there. It almost had to be a flawless route for him to catch up with that one in straightaway center.
Well, like I said, he only had to make maybe one step to his left to correct the line he was taking when he was running straight back to the wall.
Just a great play. Braves have made a couple of good defensive efforts tonight. That's why we're scoreless. And quickly 3-0 for Ibar. And 4 straight puts the Braves shortstop aboard for Mike Foltynewicz. Third walk for Bettis. And before Mike comes up, quick note, we'd like to send along our wishes for a speedy recovery to our pal Mac Honey. Mac's our great Delta flight coordinator. Mac's been under the weather for the last couple of days, and hopefully Mac, you're able to watch the game tonight. Everybody missed you on the flight out here to Denver and hopes you're well, and we'll look forward to seeing you real soon.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see you before the trip's over, Mac, but if not, we'll see you on the next one. Hope you're resting comfortably.
That's butted foul. Strike 1. Mike has a couple of sacrifices this year. He'll try to help himself with number 3 here. He pushed it toward the first base line. Hundley's got to hurry and got his man. Good work by Folty. Runner at second, 2 outs.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone playing a better center field going back to Inciarte than Ender right now. The way he's covering ground. Second in the majors in assists with 11. Should have had 12 in Cincinnati. Fun to watch.
1 ball, no strikes. I know you love watching outfielders throw. His footwork is excellent. His speed is great. And as you say, he doesn't drift toward a ball. He runs to a spot and makes the play.
He's made 4 errors, but it's hard. It'd be hard to remember when they were. I believe a couple of them may have been from him maybe overcharging a ball that just kind of squirted off his glove. But at any rate, he has been outstanding out there.
So tack on another couple of defensive runs saved for Inciarte with that play in the Rockies' fourth. Edison Foltynewicz in a scoreless duel in the fifth. Chase Peterson bats with 2 ground outs to short. And a swing and a miss will end the inning. No runs, no hits, a man left. The Braves have stranded 4 through 5 innings. Bottom of the order coming up for the Rockies in the fifth. Steven Strasburg on his home mound as well as he's been pitching this year.
You're right. And Andre, Nats are probably having a team meeting right now to discuss whether or not to put Strasburg on the DL, let him rest some more, skip a start or two. Something must be wrong.
Washington now 57-39 on the year. They're trying to hold off the Marlins. They're beating the Phillies again tonight, 9-3 in Philadelphia. Miami's a dangerous club, folks. They're going to win their 52nd game. And don't forget, at the end of the month, D. Gordon is eligible to rejoin them.
They're scoring a ton of runs. That's really helping them out.
The Mets are in 3rd place in our division, 6.5 games back. And the Mets are idle tonight. Big inning for Mike Foltynewicz. He's got the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up. No score. Hundley grounded out to short. Adames bounced to first with a pitcher covering, and Bettis lined out to Beckham. Back in the 3rd. The pitch. 2-2.
67 pitches to start this inning for Foltynewicz. 50 of them fastballs.
Strike 3 on a breaking ball.
That was a good slider.
Of all the Rockies hitter, I think he's in the head of Hundley tonight. Remember, he froze him with a breaking ball in his first at bat.
Right.
Had him guessing there and gets the first hitter here in the 5th. Christian Adames out of the Dominican Republic. He'll turn 25 in 5 days. and he's a beauty. 2-1 the count. I'll be interested to talk with Mike tomorrow after his start tonight, because it goes back to something Tom Glavine talked about on the last homestand with us, how difficult it was to pitch in Denver, how much harder he felt he had to work, and how tired he was, how much sorer he was, really trying to muscle his breaking stuff. Up the middle, Ibar's got it, and he guns to first in time. 2 out.
That's a really good point, Chip, and something worth finding out tomorrow.
But when you have a ratio of, I don't know, 53, 54 fastballs out of 74 or 75 pitches, he's already got a good fastball. That won't make him as tired as that other off-speed stuff. So we'll see. So far, he's looked very good. He's held the Rockies to 1 hit so far tonight. Bettis is 1 for 32 at the plate this year, with 13 strikeouts. Just a little outside from AJ. And that'll end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Fultonevich, 2 in the inning. We go to the 6th inning. Can you believe it? No score in Denver yet.
The 6th inning, and Chip and Joe were just talking about how they were curious how the recovery works when you play here. Well, I was talking to some people before the game, and that is a huge focus for the Rockies team. You think of the dog days of summer for any baseball team. Well, imagine playing in this altitude day in and day out. They really focus on low maintenance here. They try to keep the weights down and just focus on recovery. They do have oxygen tanks in the back of each dugout in case anybody legs out a triple and has to go get some oxygen or something, but those are available to every player whenever they might need it.
How about you, Kelsey? Are you needing any oxygen? I mean, you've been all over this ballpark tonight.
I might. Man, I went to the Red Rock Amphitheater and I needed some oxygen after that this morning. The altitude is tough. I'll be curious to talk to Mike Fultonevich tomorrow and see if he has to add anything extra to his recovery or, you know, post-game day routine.
Good thing we're not playing in the Red Rock tonight.
In big trouble. Some of our great Fox Sports crew were playing basketball like they were lugging oxygen tanks around this morning. As a swing and a miss takes care of Gordon Beckham, and that's how the Braves' 6th starts. Bettis with his 3rd strikeout, and really the amazing storyline tonight is we're in Denver, Colorado. We're not playing at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing in. There's no score at Coors Field yet.
How beautiful that is. Sunset. Well, that was a front door slider to get Gordon, and it was a front door slider that froze Hundley to start the 5th inning for Fultonevich. As hard as Mike throws, you can understand how right-handers flinch when that ball looks like it's coming at him and then breaks over the inside corner.
Best fastball of the night from Bettis right there to Freddie Freeman. He was 0 for 2 tonight, and he's hooked balls like that twice tonight.
He just keeps taking his hands with him. When he gets that front foot down, the hands have already committed and started, and it's causing him to wave at a lot of pitches. That's why the strikeouts. He's already committed his hands. Got to keep them back.
And a swing and a miss takes care of the Braves first baseman. Freddie now with 12 strikeouts in his last 19 times at the plate. And 3 strikeouts in a row for Bettis, 4 in total. Kelsey used a term that's used a lot this time of year in Major League Baseball, the dog days. Freddie's been out there almost every day. Wonder if he would consider, or if Brian Snitker would consider, a day off.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Coors Field, you'd have to drag him kicking and screaming.
And Nick Markakis, 31 plate appearances in a row now without a swinging strike.
Without a swing and a miss. Might have fouled one off or two.
Serve toward left and playable. Rayburn's there. He's got it. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 6th. Top of the Rockies order is coming up. Share stories of people who are going above and beyond to inspire those around them for the Braves Community Heroes Week, August 16th through the 19th. Go to Braves.com/inspire to nominate that inspirational person. Downstairs for Charlie Blackmon as the Rockies go to work in the 6th.
Top of their order, 3rd time through. Braves pitchers, particularly 2 starting pitchers, have done a number on the Rockies offense dating back to last Sunday, the last game there where the Braves beat them 1-0, scoring in the bottom of the 9th. Colorado's last 14 innings against the Braves, 5 hits, no runs. Julio Teheran went 7 innings, a 3-hit ball on Sunday.
And Charlie Blackmon walks on 5 pitches to start the 6th.
5 pitches that took about 8 seconds.
And we've seen that before, haven't we?
He got ramped up there. Yeah.
Mike's had 2 1-2-3 innings tonight. He had a very long 4th inning, which included a Colorado replay challenge. And now LeMahieu's in the batter's box with Blackmon at first. Let's see how Walt Weiss plays it.
And also that great 2-run saving catch by Inciarte that inning. LeMahieu likes to, as we said earlier, likes to hit the ball inside out. He wants to hit the ball to right field, take advantage of the hole if he can.
Keep an eye on Blackmon. He's got 10 steals as well. And that opposite field prowess from DJ LeMahieu and Cargo is our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
Cargo likes to stand off the plate and dive in. LeMahieu just likes to inside out.
Up and in.
Well, that's twice tonight that's happened, but you got to pitch him in. You got to keep him honest so that you can keep him off the outer third of the plate.
Two balls and a strike. Runner goes and fouled away.
Had that pitch covered. Good fastball away. Spoiled it. That pitch inside didn't keep him off the outside part of the plate. They come back with a breaking ball.
Mike about to make his 90th pitch.
Try to go back to that same spot.
And there's a base hit to right field. Blackmon will stop at second. Markakis got to it quickly. And the Rockies threaten now, first and second. Opposite field hit for DJ LeMahieu. And now Carlos Gonzalez is coming up with the Braves in 6th inning trouble.
This is unbelievable. LeMahieu's 7 for 9 now off of Fultonevich. That was tailor-made for him to punch through the hole. And it was up.
A strikeout and a walk for Carlos Gonzalez tonight. And he was thinking about hitting one to Bermuda.
Great call. RBI opportunity. Wants to really jump on one. Slow curve. Good numbers in these spots for Mike. He's had a couple of those deliveries tonight. He's had a couple where he's kind of spun out, fallen off.
Remember, he walked Cargo in a very close pitch last time up, and that one is cranked deep toward right field, and it is gone.
Fastball down the middle. That fence wasn't quite high enough. Boy, did it jump.
It wasn't Bermuda, but it was close. That had a lot of mileage on it, and the Rockies have broken through in the 6th, 3-0 on Cargo's 20th home run of the year.
And one of those walks finally comes home to roost.
459 feet, the tail of the tape. And out of play into the second deck. Here in Denver, it's 0-2. Mike's allowed 12 homers now.
9 on the road.
Wow. That was right down the middle in the upper portion of the strike zone. Mike didn't get the call. AJ's telling Mike Winters about that. Mike's another one of the umpires that wears the Force 3 mask, the Tyler Flowers spring-loaded protection. And now the 1-2 is cut on and missed. Story strikes out again. That is number 121 for the Rockies rookie. And Foltynewicz has 4 punch-outs tonight. One away for Descalso. No drop off in velocity from Foltynewicz at the 100 pitch mark. And that went right down the middle, and Descalso took it in the upper part of the zone. AJ might have politicked and earned that strikeout. That's 5 punch outs for Mike. And 2 are out in the inning. Rayburn an 0 for 2 game. And he was the man robbed by Ender Inciarte on that fantastic catch in center field. And we were told, Joe, his route efficiency was 94.6% perfect. And his top speed was 18.5 miles an hour.
Okay. You can have that route efficiency then. Because the only thing he had to do was take one stride to his left to get in line to catch that ball. Great thing about being a center fielder like Ender and with his speed is that in a park like this you can run forever and never run into anything. You can just go and go.
That's downstairs. Rayburn walks. 5 walks for Folty tonight. One of them has scored. Roger McDowell is out for a quick visit before Hundley comes to the plate. 2 of the last 3 innings, Mike's really had to work overtime with high pitch counts.
Joel De La Cruz in the pen, loosening up.
Game 1 of 4 in Denver tonight. Joe and I will stick with you for Braves Live, presented by Xfinity afterwards. Carlos Gonzalez has hit a 3-run homer in the 6th to break a scoreless tie. Hundley's 0 for 2. And that's the 28th pitch of the inning for Foltynewicz. Out away, even count. Miami did beat the Phillies 9-3 the final. Pittsburgh beat Milwaukee 5-3. Don't forget about the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Buccos have a pretty favorable schedule in the second half of the season, including 4 more series head-to-head with Milwaukee. They've got to try to catch the Cubs and the Cardinals in the Central. The inside corner call. It's even 2-2. Little tapper. That's tough play. Mike with a bare hand, fell down, throw to first, and Freddie pulled his foot off the bag.
His feet don't go out from under him. He's got him easily. Catcher running. But it did look like Freddie's foot was off the base as he scooped that.
Buddy Carlisle checking out the video review in the Braves locker room. And Brian Snitker waiting for a decision as to whether or not to challenge or whether or not to go get Mike Foltynewicz, and it looks like the answer to the second question is yes. Season high in pitches for Mike with 112. A lot of them came in this inning, the 6th. An inning that began with a leadoff walk to Charlie Blackmon, and then Cargo unloaded deep into the Colorado bullpen with a 456-foot home run, the only runs that have scored tonight. Braves are in their bullpen, trailing in Denver. 3-0 is your score. Back with more in a moment. The #1 live streaming sports service delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. That includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.tv for details. Mike Foltynewicz departs after 5 2/3 and 112 pitches.
Ton of them this inning, as you said, Chip. 8 3-ball counts in the game and 5 or more pitches to 14 of the 25 batters he faced. So he was having a hard time, having to work extra hard to get outs tonight. Joel De La Cruz, 4th outing here out of the bullpen. He's only given up 1 run in his first 3 outings, which cover 3 2/3.
First batter faced will be key. He's got the 8th place man up, Christian Adames, who's 0 for 2. And AJ can't believe that wasn't called a strike. That had the middle of the plate knee high. It's tough enough to get outs in this place. Foul at first. Eric Young will make the play after a drop. And the count's even.
We've been talking about big innings lately that have really hurt the Braves. Reds had a 4-run 6th inning yesterday. First game of the Reds series. Reds had a 5-run 4th inning. So this road trip has been peppered by big innings that have hurt the Braves.
Well, you know you're going to give up runs in this park. The bigger problem, I think, for Atlanta right now, where's the offense going to come from?
Yeah, a 3 spot in Coors Field is not that big a deal as long as you're reciprocating.
Counting tonight's game, the Braves have been outscored 51-16 in their last 7 ball games in this ballpark.
It's hard to believe.
Foul away. Braves have hit a homer in 7 straight road games. That's the longest active streak in the big leagues. The Braves have won 9 of their last 16 on the road, but trail by 3 in the middle innings tonight. Chad Bettis, the Rockies pitcher, waits on deck. He's been staked to a 3-run lead. And a swing and a miss will retire the side. The Rockies get a 3-run home run from Cargo, his 20th of the season, and it went a country mile. Fastball right down the middle, and he knew it. Rockies 3, Atlanta 0. We're off to the 7th in Game 1 in Denver. Braves bats to wake up. They have 2 hits tonight. 2. As Colorado makes a defensive change, Brandon Barnes takes over in left field for Ryan Rayburn. Chad Bettis normally gets 7 runs per game of support. He's gotten 3 tonight, and he's been very impressive on his home mound. That's hit toward third. And the throw to first is perfect. Adames takes care of Adonis. Say that 3 times fast. 1 out.
Well, now it's on the offense. It's on the offense to do their part. 3 runs shouldn't beat you at Coors Field. Put some pressure on the defense. Get Bettis to work out of the stretch a little more and see what happens. Braves had a golden opportunity in the 4th to take the lead. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Didn't score.
Braves hits tonight by Markakis and Gordon Beckham. Bettis working very quickly. Inciarte trying to slow him down. He has used his infielders really effectively tonight. 10 groundouts and 4 strikeouts.
Well, that was on purpose. Bettis was ticked off that Ender had stepped out on him.
Little bloop. Story can't get it. Ha. Take that.
Yeah.
So Inciarte has his first hit of the night.
Have to pitch up, and he just fought it off. Story's playing up the middle, and even though we saw great range from him running down some pop-ups in Atlanta, he couldn't get to that one. Justice served.
Colorado has a shift on for A.J. Pierzynski. He's hit into a double play, and he's grounded out to short. Line drive headed for the gap. That's going to get down and roll to the wall. Ender around second. He's on his way to third. He'll be green lighted. He's going to score without a play. And A.J. Pierzynski doubles home the first Atlanta run. It's a 3-1 game. So A.J. keeps up his hot hitting. That's his 21st RBI.
Yeah, and Bettis loses his shutout, all because he was a little miffed that Inciarte stepped out on him, cost him a base hit, and now it cost him a double and a run.
And now it brings the tying run to the plate. So the hits are even at 4 apiece, and time will be called. The Rockies will have a visit.
I'd like to see Ibar step out on him too. Getting his head a little bit.
Looks like Brandon Snyder's grabbed the bat. He'll hit for De La Cruz. As Eric Ibar is ready to go. He's bounced out to first and walked. And that's up and away. Both bullpens are busy. Hunter Cervenka's up for the Braves. Adam Ottavino's pitching in the Rockies bullpen. Our game was scoreless through 5 innings. Braves made 3 outs on 11 pitches in the 6th. Then Colorado against Fultonevich got a walk, a single, and a homer. Atlanta with a 1-out single and a double here in the 7th is cut into the lead. And Ibar's in the box. And a high hopper hit toward second. LeMahieu's got it. Runner to third, 2 outs. And it will be Brandon Snyder He's done a great job off the bench for the Braves all year long.
That'd be a perfect time for one of his extra base hits.
Snyder has 6 hits, all of them for extra bases. And Bettis will not be allowed to face him. Walt Weiss is going to go to a fresh arm in a run-scoring spot here. So Bettis goes 6 2/3 innings. He allows 1 run to this point, 4 Atlanta hits, and Bettis with another terrific start at home has a 2-run lead here in Denver. Big crowd should give him a nice round of applause. He pitched very well tonight. Colorado, and fans, the first 20,000 through the gates on Saturday, July 30th, get a 1991 worst to first National League Championship Series replica ring. Don't miss out on this great Braves collector's item. Go to Braves.com/promotions. Braves coming right back. They've scored a run on 2 hits in the 7th, and Adam Ottavino is on for the 7th time.
This guy's got quite a scoreless streak working of 18 2/3 innings. Second longest active string in the majors.
They're easing him back into action after he's come back from Tommy John surgery.
Pretty tough on right-handers, as you might suspect, with that crossfire. Mini shift on for Snyder. A lot of room on the right side.
That one danced in for a quick 2-strike count.
Got catcher and umpire, it looked like.
Spring-loaded mask helped Mike Winters out there. Big run at third base, and Snyder bring home A.J. Pierzynski and make it a 1-run game. Emergency hack.
Oh, it was. Had to flail, bail and flail. Stay alive. Ball comes out of his hand. Looks like he's throwing it right at you after stepping toward the third base line. You've almost got to do the same thing. Tuck that shoulder and step right into the pitch in case you get a chance to cover it. And that one got Hundley.
Good at bat.
Yeah. That was just a straight up fastball that he spoiled.
Pitch number 7 coming up.
So just when you're trying to make sure you keep that front shoulder in there and cover the outside corner on that sweeping slider, you get one in your ear hole.
One and two. What a stop. That would have scored a run if it gotten by Hundley. It's 2 and 2. And a swing and a miss. Hundley will have to make the peg to first. And Ottavino did his job. He retired Snyder. The Braves, though, pick up their first run on 2 hits. Pettis with the lead, 3-1 as we head to the home 7th.
Toyota dealers, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery and Zaxby's Indescribably Good.
Three-one's your score. It's been anything but fun and games for the Braves offense tonight. More struggles here in Denver, Colorado. Braves have scored 12 runs now in their last 5 games here, but it's still only a 2-run difference. Braves very much alive if Hunter Cervenka can take care of them in the 7th. The top of the order will be coming up in the 8th in what's a 2-run game.
Hunter pitched in 2 games against Colorado at home. 2/3 of an inning total, no hits or runs, 1 walk. He also pitched in a game at Cincinnati on this road trip a couple of days ago. 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit. He's going to face Mark Reynolds, a pinch hitter, to start the inning.
So Ottavino retired the lone man he was assigned. It will be Reynolds, Blackman, LeMahieu. Reynolds hitting .275, 9 homers, 40 knocked in. And Cervenka's first missed inside, ball 1. Swing and a drive, deep left field. Reynolds with a pinch hit, mammoth home run.
Just the second home run given up by Cervenka, but it went far enough to be 2 or 3. He can always hit a fastball, and he always gets extension. He swings and misses a lot, but when he connects, his whole career they've jumped like that.
That was about 3 rows from the top of the rim of the lower bowl.
Mercy.
By the scoreboard. Holy smokes. So the Rockies have hit 2 homers tonight. They extend their lead. It's 4-1. And here again is Charlie Blackmon. He's walked and scored. That was ahead of Cargo's tape measure shot in the 6th. I don't know the answer to this question. That was a mammoth home run. 484 feet away. Has anybody ever hit the scoreboard here in left? We're told no.
I remember Javi Lopez hitting a ball here, though. And I know there have been some balls hitting the upper deck and right field, but Javi Lopez, I'm pretty sure, hit a ball in left field right there by the Let's Go Places Toyota sign next to the Coke sign that bounced on the concourse and went out of the ballpark.
You mean up in Simpsonville?
Yeah, right up there.
Ground ball, second. Beckham to his right. Got rid of it quickly. A pretty play. Crowd appreciates that effort. It was a good one. 1 out. Well, I mean,
well, I will say that the 2 home runs tonight have not been Coors Field type home runs.
No. Where would those balls have gone in Cincinnati? Cargos would have been in the river.
Well, the one that Reynolds just hit might have been in the upper deck to the far left, far right side as we're looking at it, of the upper deck below their scoreboard.
Impressive power display by the Rockies. We have LeMahieu up there. 2 more hits for him. 34 multi-hit games now for DJ LeMahieu. And that one up the middle. Ibar in between. Hop got it. And 2 outs.
Sam, the stat man to the Stars, tells me that Longoria hit a home run here the other night that bounced out, that was measured at 462. I don't remember how far Hobbies went. I don't know that we had a distance on it, but I know they had to chase it out of the stadium.
They're still measuring.
Yes.
Perhaps. Swing and a miss by Carlos Gonzalez. These are critical games, as we said, for the Rockies. They believe that their team is better than their 43-51 record. They believe they can make a run here in the final 2+ months of the season and chase down a playoff spot. What they don't know is can they turn things around consistently at home. That's where it has to start for them. They're 21 and 24 on their home field. Swing and a miss. Cervenka gets the next 3 after a mammoth home run from Mark Reynolds. 484-footer to left field. Still a tight ball game by Coors Field standards. It's 4-1. Atlanta has the top of the order coming up in the 8th in game 1.
About getting the ball out front like Gordon Beckham did and launched one into the seats. Look at the extension on this swing from Reynolds. Point of contact, and look at this extension right here of getting the ball out front and what causes it to go 484 feet. Out front with extension, bye-bye.
And we're told that is tied for the 8th longest home run by distance in the history of this ballpark.
No kidding.
484 feet. Andres Galarraga also hit one 484 feet years ago. And now Boone Logan is on to pitch. Another potential trade candidate for the Rockies should they continue to stumble at home. This is his 39th game. He's got the top of the order. Jace Peterson, Beckham, and Freddie Freeman. And Joe said it exactly right an inning ago or so. It's on the Braves offense now. They got 6 outs left to try to get this thing tied or take a lead.
Logan, a former Brave, pitched great against Atlanta at Turner Field. In that 3-game series, he was in 2 of the games, picked up a win in relief, and worked 2 2/3 innings, didn't give up a run.
Little roller out towards second. LeMahieu charges, has to throw quickly, and Peterson's out on a head-first slide. He immediately points to the Braves dugout and asks for replay confirmation of the out call at first.
I didn't see Eddie Perez motion, though. Eddie had a better look at it than Jace, who's diving. I think they got him.
Is that an instinctive play, Joe? Because the physics people will tell you that that slows you down rather than get you to the bag faster.
It's just effort. Guy that thinks that I can dive and get there faster and not willing to give up.
First pitch, ground ball third. Nice play, Adames, and he got Beckham.
Oh, what an arm.
Nolan Arenado sitting on the dugout bench. And I don't know if I could have made that play. That was a nice one. 2 outs.
zip that over there.
Two quick outs for Logan. Here's Freddie Freeman. Freddie 0 for 3. Freddie's broken out of the All-Star break gate with 2 hits in 26 at-bats.
Got that opposite field home run yesterday. Might be a sign of things to come, but he struck out 3 straight times after that.
Bounce into the front row right behind the Rockies dugout.
Boone Logan can still rush it up there, 92 to 94. A lot of sliders to lefties, as you're seeing here.
That is not Freddie Freeman like. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch gets the Braves first baseman, and Boone Logan works a 1-2-3-8. Long ball hitting 2 homers tonight, both of them tape measure shots, and one of these 4 runs came against Hunter Cervenka, and over the last 7 games the bullpen's had its share of hiccups.
Yeah, especially the home runs. Home runs late in the ball game, never a good thing, because if you're got your bullpen in there, you're trying to keep a game close or preserve a lead. That's always a tough thing in those homers. 3 and 7.
So Mauricio Cabrera will face the middle of the Rockies orders. Story, Descalso, and Barnes are coming up. Cabrera was lighting up the radar gun in Cincinnati. He threw a pitch 103.8 miles an hour against Cincinnati. That one popped the mitt at 99 for strike one. One thing that jumps out at you on the stat page for Cabrera, not just the velocity, but he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. 6 in 10 innings so far.
I think that will change. And I think it'll change drastically once he gets a little better fastball command. And learns that to succeed at this level, you really need to pitch ahead in the count.
Yeah.
And with his stuff and really good curveball, could be a real devastating pitch for him.
I was just thinking his arsenal is Kimbrel-esque with that fastball breaking ball combination. He snapped off some beauties on the road trip already. Let's see if he can take care of strikeout prone Trevor Story here. Had a good crowd in Denver, 36,000 plus, 36,527 to be exact. And now the 2-2 pitch. Cabrera is averaging 100.8 miles an hour with his fastball. That is the highest average velocity of any pitcher in the game this year.
Saw AJ there tell him right here, right down the middle.
And I think that got him on the way by. It did. So Story grazed by a pitch. He'll take first base. 5th time he's been hit this year. So that is the textbook definition of an uncomfortable at bat.
Yeah, and that was nowhere near the middle of the plate.
Descalso 0 for 2 with a walk. Too high, 1-0. Cardinals came back tonight. They were trailing San Diego 5-2. They beat them 6-5. The game's still in progress. Tigers and White Sox are in a rain delay in Chicago. Tampa Bay and Oakland tied 3-3 in the 4th. Back to the screen, foul, even count.
Cabrera is only 22 years old. 6'3", listed at 245 out of the Dominican Republic. Last year was at Carolina and then called up to Mississippi in AA, 13 games, 17 innings, 18 walks, 25 strikeouts, 8 wild pitches. Command was a challenge. He started at Carolina, 31 innings, 17 walks, 28 strikeouts, 8 wild pitches. This year, though, he'd begun to harness it, and that's why he's here, because he was beginning to find the plate more and more, and he's pitched well here. And that one completely boxed AJ. That wasn't that bad a pitch.
3 balls and a strike for Daniel Descalso. Ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk. And the Rockies trying to add on here in the 8th inning. Roger McDowell will come out for another visit. Braves Live presented by Xfinity follows us after the 27th out in Denver. Right now it's the Rockies 4, Atlanta 1, first to 4 at Coors Field. Have a good one tomorrow night. Julio Teheran and John Gray will get things started in Game 2. Matt Whistler and Tyler Anderson pitch Game 3. Tyrell Jenkins and Tyler Chatwood face off in the Sunday matinee. Then we head to Minneapolis, where we'll open a brief 2-game set with the Twins on Tuesday at Target Field. Brandon Barnes first at bat tonight. And time called very late. That made Bettis mad when Ender Inciarte was up, and he singled and scored the lone Braves run.
Not sure who been out of shape about it.
Not sure who called time. But Mike Winters granted it. So first pitch of the sequence coming up. A strike. A bunt right off the plate. Cabrera's got it. His throw to first is in time. A nice sacrifice. Runners at second and third now with 1 out. Former Astro, who was acquired for Dexter Fowler, gets the high five from his teammates. And now Nick Hundley's coming up.
As they know all too well at Coors Field, the Rockies with a 3-run lead want to pad that going to the 9th.
Infield hit for Hundley last time. That was the last play for Mike Foltynewicz. He fielded in front of the mound, but lost his footing, and his throw pulled Freddie Freeman off the bag at first. So Hundley's 1 for 3 in Game 1. AJ trying to steal a strike there. Bouncing ball through a drawn-in infield. It's going to score 1 for sure. Throw to the plate is
interference.
It's going to be interference as Ibar came across trying to field the ball. He got in the way of Descalso, and Brian Snitker is going to come out and argue. The throw beat the runner to the plate. AJ applied the tag, and Mike Winters pointed immediately at the third base umpire, Mike Muchlinski, who called the interference play.
Well, Ibar was drawn to his right to try to field a ground ball, so it pulled him into the base runner's line. He's drawn in here. He's going for the ball. So the runner had to go around him, but the runner actually took a route that was outside the baseline to go around him. Here he was going for the baseball, and now when the runner at second base, Descalso, started down the line here, watch him head toward third. Now he has to try to run around Ibar, and that's where the interference was called.
And I think A.J. Pierzynski got thrown out of the game. He had a dismissive wave of his mask, and you could see Muchlinski pointing interference right there. So A.J. Pierzynski made his way to the Braves dugout. I think he's been kicked out of the game. And Anthony Recker's going to have to come out and finish this one behind the plate. It's going to be a 2-run scoring single by Hundley. The umpire's explaining to Ibar why the interference call was made.
Eric didn't see him coming. He was thinking about the baseball.
And AJ's still having a long distance conversation with Mike Winters.
Uh-oh, that was a magic word.
So it's a single, an RBI, and an error on the interference play. And the Rockies extend the lead now to 6-1, and Anthony Recker indeed will come on out.
The fielder has the right of way to go for the baseball. The runner has to avoid the fielder if he's going for the baseball. Now that ball was already past Eric and going into left field. He did not see the runner. Descalso altered his route to go around Eric, and Eric's path took him then into that path where Descalso then had to change again. And I think that's when they called the interference.
And it is a judgment call, and we had a great angle on that replay from the third base camera where you could see Mike Muchlinski, the umpire, pointing immediately at Ibar and Descalso. So a hit batsman, a walk, and a sacrifice, a single through a drawn in infield, interference, an ejection, and A.J. Pierzynski out of the ball game. And Christian Adames is coming up. We have seen a little bit of everything in the last 3 innings with the Rockies in the batter's box. Adames 0 for 3, a strikeout last time up. And this one's bounced off the plate. Cabrera's got it. He'll apply the tag and runner to second, 2 outs.
That was a good throw by Jace Peterson that went for naught.
So Tony Walters will come on and pinch hit for Boone Logan. Logan a perfect inning with a strikeout in relief. Walters, a catcher infielder. He's made 36 starts behind the plate. He's also played second base and shortstop. And he strokes one toward left. Jace goes back. It's over his head. The throw into second is close and late. Pinch hit double for Walters. And the Rockies have scored 3 in the 8th.
2 extra base hits, 2 RBIs from pinch hitters in the 9th spot for the Rockies tonight. The home run by Reynolds, and now this double that jumped off the bat of Walters over the head of Jace.
So Mauricio Cabrera's first taste of Coors Field is a bitter one. A hit batsman, a walk, a single, a double, and 3 runs are across. It's 7-1 Colorado.
Sponsored by Synovus, the bank of here. Georgia Power. And Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
A pair of 3-run innings for the Rockies tonight. 1 in the 6th, 1 here in the 8th inning. They extend their lead to 7-1, and Eric O'Flaherty is on to retire Charlie Blackmon, we hope, and send it to the 9th inning.
He worked an inning yesterday. He's worked now in 3 of the 4 games on this road trip. I didn't think Blackmon would get another opportunity to extend his hitting streak, but here he is.
It stands at 12 games in a row currently. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Beckham robbed him of a hit try in the 7th. And that caught a corner. 7 runs on 7 hits for the Rockies, a run on 4 hits for the Braves. Bettis and Fultonevich, the pitchers of record tonight. Bettis went 6 2/3 innings of 4-hit, 1-run ball. Fulte went 5 2/3 of 3-run, 5-walk, 5-strikeout ball.
And guess what? Bettis in his start, not while he was in there, 7 runs of support.
And there's the base hit by Blackmon. Markakis with a throw toward the plate. Wrecker will smother that. Nick got to it quickly. And the Rockies center fielder now has a 13-game hitting streak, as the Rockies now have 8 hits tonight. 3 of them have come in the 8th inning. So LeMahieu is the 8th hitter in the inning. Second time Colorado's offense has turned that trick. Also the 6th inning when they scored 3 times. And way outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Little chopper hit towards second, and that will mercifully end the 8th inning. A hit batsman, a walk, a sacrifice, a single, interference, and 3 more Rockies runs. We go to the 9th. July 29th through the 31st, the Phillies will come to town after we wrap up this 3-city road trip in Minneapolis on Wednesday. There'll be tons of opportunities to see your favorite Braves legends. Go to braves.com/alumni weekend for a full schedule of events. This game was scoreless through 5 innings, but the Rockies have outscored the Braves 7-1 over the last 3 frames, and now Jason Mott is on. And he will try to finish off game 1 in Colorado's favor.
Not only that, they only had 1 hit.
Right.
Colorado.
Tony Walters stays in the game. He's at second base. As Mott versus Markakis, who does not have a swing and a miss strike again tonight. That's 32 plate appearances without a swing and a miss.
Fastballs and cutters primarily from Mott, low 90s.
Braves have got to figure out how to score runs in Denver, Colorado. They have 17 runs here in 7 games. And 12 runs in their last 5. They scored 11 in 4 games here last year. Mott didn't pitch for the Rockies until May 25th. He began the year on the disabled list with a right shoulder strain. Last year he was with the Cubs. And there's that swing and a miss. Nick's impressive streak ends in the 9th inning. And the leadoff man retired in the 9th. 1 up, 1 down.
And it was a cutter biting in on him.
Mott struck out the side Monday for Denver, or for Colorado, I should say. The first time he did that since September of 2012 for the Cardinals against the Cubs. So he's starting to pitch like the man the Rockies got to help improve their bullpen. He and Jake McGee have not had good first halves. Fly ball hammered toward the gap. That's going to get down and roll to the fence. Garcia's got at least 2, and that's where he'll stop with 1 man out. So Adonis continues his good work. He's got a 5-game hitting streak. And Ender Inciarte will be the batter with a man aboard.
Well, one other thing about Adonis, It appears that he's moved off the plate a little bit too. I talked about how he's been driving the ball to right field, hit those 2 homers to right in Cincinnati. He had an open stance, a little off the plate, and really dove into that pitch. Swinging a hot bat.
Ender's the only Brave to score tonight. That's in for a strike. It's 0-1. Whether he was with the Cardinals, the Cubs, or now the Rockies, Jason Mott has been a tough customer for the Braves offense to try to beat. 2 wins, no losses, 3 saves in 18 games, and a 1.04 career earned run average. A former catcher in the Cardinals farm system. He could really throw, but had trouble hitting. He's made a nice living in Major League bullpens.
.96 on that fastball, according to the Rockies radar gun.
And 2. Again an 0-2. And way high.
Good at bat. Down 7-1, 1 out in the 9th. Ender's putting up a good fight here. Fouled off a lot of pitches, including several cutters.
He's choked up and serves one to left. That's going to get down for a base hit. The Braves have runners at the corners now. And that was a well-deserved second hit of the night for Ender Inciarte, who's on base for the 3rd time in the game.
Yeah, he earned that, didn't he?
And this is why those add-on runs late in the game in Denver are so critically important for either club. You are one swing of the bat away from disaster as the defensive team if you have a small lead.
Well, and he knew it. I mean, Walt Weiss is bunting runners over. He was hoping to get 1 in and make it at least a 5-1 game, and he got 2, and then he got a 3rd.
Anthony Recker in for the ejected A.J. Przinsky. His first bat tonight. Recker's 1 for 7 on the road trip. And takes upstairs, 1-1.
He had a heck of a game, though, in that game that Terrell Jenkins started, blocking balls in the dirt, throwing out base stealers.
Braves trying to score on Jason Mott. That would be 9 of 24 games he's allowed at least one run since May 25th. And when he came in, it was as low a pressure situation as you can have. A 6-run lead and a clean inning to start. He's got a runner at third, a runner at first with 1 out now. And that's scorched into the seats. We'll do it again. 1-2. Chatwood and Anderson are just getting loose in the bullpen. Both those men are supposed to pitch in starting assignments in this series. Line drive, right field. That's going to get down and roll to the wall. 1 run scores. Recker's on his way to second. The throw off target. The Braves have a 2nd run, and they've got runners at 2nd and 3rd.
And Mott's given up runs in what, 10 out of 25? 10 of his last 25.
It's 9 of 24.
Nice piece of hitting there by Recker. Fastball up and out over the plate away from him. Just coming into the game. Well done there. And an RBI.
Jeff Francoeur has grabbed a bat. He's on deck. Let's see what Ibar does first. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And didn't get it. Well, a couple more hits and then a long ball, and we'll be in business. That's pulled foul. 0-2. A lot of pitches from Mott tonight. That was his 22nd. Missed inside. 1-2.
He relies on that cutter so much, and he made a good pitch to Markakis to strike him up, strike him out. He tied him up, but everybody else has been wise to it, and Inciarte fought off a couple of them.
Man, there's a lot of pawing around and pacing this Colorado defense. Long inning. Rockies thought they had it salted away, up 7-1. But Adames is trying to stay loose. Cargo in right field just exasperated as Mott continues to struggle.
Descalso at first base clapping his glove, cheering Mott on. Those strikes.
Right off the thumbs. That'll be to second. It'll score a run, but it cost the Braves a precious 2nd out. Give Ibar an RBI. Inciarte scores the 3rd Atlanta run. And it's up to Jeff Francoeur to keep the game alive.
Jeff's had some luck in this ballpark in his career. 271 hitter, 3 homers. Eight doubles, 2 triples in 96 at bats.
He'd love another hit. He's 0 for 6 head-to-head with Mott. 2 in the ninth for Atlanta, 7-3 game. Those 3 that came across in the 8th look pretty big, don't they? Popped up. Descalso, foul ground over near the stands, takes a peek and won't have room. Mott's ready for his 28th pitch. Francoeur in an 0-2 hole. And he almost threw that to the backstop.
Another good stop by Hundley.
Anthony Recker off the bench with an RBI double. Ibar a ground out for a run batted in. Now Jeff with a 1-2 count.
I just can't imagine he would try to throw anything middle into Jeff. Everything, cutter, slider, everything's going to be going away from him, trying to get him to strike out. Jeff's almost got to hang out, thinking and covering middle away.
And looks to me like he's trying to throw the ball right through Hundley.
Yeah, and he can't throw his fastball over at all.
Walt Weiss does not want to go to his bullpen again.
They don't want to have to get Estevez in this game.
But he might have to. Francoeur walks. And here comes the Colorado manager. So a 6-run lead. Mott got the leadoff man, Nick Markakis, to strike out. But 3 hits, a ground out and a walk has Atlanta knocking on the door. They're still down 4 runs. They have 2 on. They have 2 out. Jace Peterson is coming to the plate. We continue in the ninth from Colorado after another break.
broadcast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, the rally caps are on for the Braves fans here at Coors Field. Atlanta has scored twice on 3 hits. Mott is done after a very wild appearance in the ninth, and now Carlos Estevez is on to pitch. He'll have Jace Peterson in the batter's box with 2 on and 2 out.
Picked up a save against the Braves in Atlanta. 96 to 100 miles an hour with a slider.
And this would be a save because the tying run potentially is on deck. I found it highly entertaining that when he came out of the bullpen, the music that greeted him was Wild Thing. Not exactly a tune you want to hear your relief pitcher use for his walk-in music.
It's movie related.
Broken bat. Slowly hit toward Walters at second. Throw to first is in time. Walters just checked into second. The Braves are going to take a look. And they have to if this call is overturned. The Braves have a run and they're still alive. If not, it's over. Let's wait and see. No dive this time.
Tough to tell there. I think it's going to stand. Watching the glove of Descalso clinch as the foot was about to hit the bag.
The Rockies are looking at the replay on the board, and they're already celebrating. All that we await is final confirmation.
Ball game.
And that is your ball game. The decision on the field is confirmed. Colorado has 2 big innings, the 6th and the 8th. They scored 3 runs in each of those frames. And the Braves with a 9th inning rally fell 4 runs shy. 7-3 is our final tonight. Colorado played long ball, Joe, and that's our State Farm instant replay.
Yeah, the big blow was that first one, that 459-foot home run by Carlos Gonzalez gave them a 3-0 lead. They never gave up the lead.
So the Braves fall for the 7th consecutive time in Denver. They mustered just 3 runs tonight. We'll recap game 1 right after this.